Is that fan bugging you?
It's okay. It just blows in my face sometimes. It'll be okay.
Whoa.
Well, no. Oh my God.
Damn.
I can't say anything.
You can't say anything like that on this show.
It's
Trust
okay.
me.
I play Xbox with guys all the time, and I'm always catching myself doing that, yet somehow I haven't gotten better at filtering it out. When you have people in your chair, you're able to talk with them and stuff. But I never really realized.
Stop. Is your mic on?
I don't know.
Dude, check her. Your mic wasn't on? Come on, bro.
Should we do
I
it?
Turn it on.
Should we do it?
Mine shows it's on. Mine's
Okay,
on the
see,
on
I
off
took
switch.
care of you. I said,
Okay.
bro,
Hi.
Hey,
Bro?
at least you realize now.
clap
Yeah,
us
good.
in now so we sync.
Like NSYNC?
Yes. Son of a bitch, dude.
That was just a pregame. That's perfect.
No, we're still on. We'll just keep it.
No, we won't.
Yeah, we will.
No, we won't.
We have to.
Why?
What do you mean?
You just cut it.
No. Episode 59, Sonder Experience.
Do it
Great
again.
live.
Does it hurt you that much to redo it?
Huh?
You
Yeah,
would have
it's-
not made it as a rapper, an actor, or singer, because do it again. Do it again.
No,
Nope.
this live,
Do it again.
son. Live and direct.
No, we're not live.
We're live.
No, live is no. We're not live.
Renee.
Do not lie.
Renee.
Oh no.
No.
We'll let you
This
decide.
is
Okay,
like,
yeah,
I
you
feel like,
decide.
these
Do
are
you
like
wanna start it
parents
from-
fighting, and I'm being drug into this.
Dad just
Yeah.
hit mom
Yep.
at the table.
Yep. Yep.
No, we're
This-
not going to start over. We're going to keep it. Hiccups happen. Hey, Sonder, baby. It's real. What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, because you're not. It's not live. If you were to keep this live, that makes a lot of sense.
We're keeping it. Hey, let me ask you this.
If his mic was off, he wouldn't have kept it.
You
I'm making a decision.
You already clapped us in. All right, hold on. Sorry, here we go
Do
again.
it.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for watching episode 59. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We've got a very special guest with us today, Ranee Valdez. She's come in to kind of talk about her life, give past experiences. You got me, the journey, and you got the Lightmare, the one and only, coming at you. Thank you very much for coming on.
For the first time.
We did this already. For the record, the Lightmare didn't turn his mic on, so we got to start this again.
I don't get paid for the technological part of this.
Well, you don't get paid to
outfit.
speak good words either. Okay, Renee, where are you from? Where did you, were you born in Arizona?
No, I was born in Washington, and then
Oh,
grew up
wow.
I grew up in Colorado. My dad was in the military, so I was born
Oh.
on a military base up in Washington. And then we mostly grew up in Colorado. We were only here for like I said, like the 6 months that we were here. And then we moved down here in 2017. Yeah. And then I've been here since then.
Did you graduate out here?
Nope. I graduated back in Montrose.
Oh, you did?
So I was checking out your Instagram once we found out who we were going to have as a guest. And I see that you do like hairstyling.
Yeah. So I went to school for that back in Colorado, went to cosmetology school, and then got my barbering license here. One of the things that I realized about that was that not so much doing the hair, but actually being able to talk and connect with people was probably the best part of that job, which is why I started looking into other ways. And then when I started kind of working on myself, I realized that there are other alternatives to actually being able to focus on the talking aspect of people.
You said barber, though, so not hairstylist. You
No.
went to school to be a barber?
Yeah, so originally I did go to cosmetology. And then when I moved down here, I was going to go back and get my Cosmo license here. But it's cheaper and faster to do it barbering. And I didn't want to do anything with nails or anything like that. I just wanted to focus on the hair. And I already knew how to do women's hair. And then I was coloring my hair up to that point. So I was like, I'll just go and just get the license.
And that's where I got my mixed up. I thought barber, male. Stylist, female. You know.
That's what I always thought,
I was
too.
just like, well,
That's typically how it is because of the focus. When you go to school, that's what it focuses on. But as a barber, you can do almost anything hair related that you can do as a Cosmo. And a lot of people will actually open up barber shops because of the licensing requirements versus cosmetology
Yeah, now that you think,
spots.
I've never seen a female barber.
I've seen a lot. There's
Have
a lot
you?
of girls that went to the school that I went to, and they're really good. Some of them are even better than some of the guys there.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
How long did you? Can you fade up my mullet?
So
Hey, go
so
grab the clippers real quick, dude.
Let's run the test.
You know, fades are my weak point.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will openly say that. I want to get better at them, and I was doing really good, but then like when I was in school, COVID hit, and because of COVID, we like had nobody coming in,
Yeah.
and then when we started getting more people coming in,
You're just practicing on that head.
well, and we can't even do that because we only have so many mannequins. So
Just practicing head, baby. It's fine.
we had the mannequin's hair doesn't grow back, so you could find people, but like
Oh yeah.
it was mostly just like a lot of sitting. I did a lot of reading though, and that helped.
I went to this barbershop that's by my house to get a mullet in the first place. Homie had me in the chair for 2.5 hours, and it felt like he was cutting each hair individually. He fucked my beard up. He messed my hair up. I came home and had to do it again myself, and so it grew out a little bit, and I was like, oh, I could do this. I'll do it myself. Took the clippers, no guard, and now I literally just have a box right here because I don't know how to fade either.
I do. No, I do. The last time you did it at my house, you're like, just do it real quick. There's a difference.
Well, those weren't even those were trimmers too, huh?
Yeah,
Not
so yeah, it wasn't
clippers.
even real hair clippers. So
You could fade me up.
yeah, easily.
All right. Let's do it.
Not right now.
Let's do it right now.
No.
Let's get into this episode, man. Okay, so we lost everything that we were talking. Fuck this fly.
See, now it's on you. Well, it was
Oh.
always on you because the last show never happened, so it was always on you.
The positivity stuff. How
The positivity stuff.
dude, it's so
Positivity.
it's like super foreign, right? You asked me, so I was saying you're very positive, and you're very positive, and I'm kind of like the negative one. And he asked me why, and I said because I feel like I'm more in control that way because I don't have to lose hope if I don't have it in the first place. So, and he was like, you don't enjoy the stuff that's going on. Well, that's because I know something's just around the corner. It's always been that way, but I think because I think that way, I find it so quickly.
Yeah. Well, and like the thing that I've noticed is people are comfortable in what's familiar, which is you're going to get stuck in this loop that way. If you don't get out of your comfort zone, you're never going to have new experiences. And just because you're wanting to be like in control of a situation, what you don't realize if you were to like peel that curtain back, you're creating essentially what you're afraid of. And you're never like fully like at peace because of that. You're constantly on edge because that's what feels familiar because you think that it's going to make you safe. And when do you get to enjoy it?
I don't know.
You don't, but your mind has tricked you to think that way because it's familiar.
And so a good way to look at it is when you started this podcast, just remember everything you started with and the very little you started with, obviously, whether it be with mics or just how the room looked in general. But you knew it was going to grow. You took action. So you can't, you do. You shouldn't pick and choose when to be positive and when to be negative. Because if your whole life was negative, this would never be where it's at. Because everything would be the same just like your life. So now you got to, I guess, in reference to this podcast, your life, however you think, when you're out there, you have to have the same type of mindset. Like, okay, what am I going to do out there to make it better? Because I know it's going to get better. Because I know this is going to get better. Because if not, it doesn't make sense. That would be you basically saying this is as far as I'm going to get because I know nothing's going to happen for me because I'm negative, and that's just the way I like to think. And this is about as far as I get.
I don't feel like I'm negative all the time, though.
I think you're positive for other people because
Yeah.
you know what it's like to be in that negativity.
I support all my people to the point where like it's annoying. Like they don't want to do it themselves, but I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm like, we're gonna run it. We're gonna make sure you're good. But then when it comes to me, I'm like, like nothing's ever seemed that anything I do is good enough.
That's because that's what you're allowing yourself to believe a lot of times. And everybody does it. Like so many people get stuck in that same mindset. And it's just because you're usually taught it. And your parents usually teach it to you through however, that's why it becomes this constant thing. And you can't even be mad at them because they're only teaching what they know. You think that that's a safe way to like think, it keeps you on guard. You can prepare. You have control. So it's not like you're looking at it as it's a bad thing, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, there's a reason for it. The thing is you need to determine if it's building what you want out of life. And that's what people don't do, you know, because of what you went through, like with being in that dark place or, you know, that negative mindset, you go out of your way to make sure that nobody else has to experience that. So that in itself shows you that you know that it's not worth being down there if you don't want to let other people be down there, but you won't do the work to get yourself out of that because you feel like you deserve to be there. It's about finding that self-worth.
So barber school is dope though. Like that shit. What am I supposed to do with that? What do you do to stay in that positive mind frame? That's what I should ask. Let's give tips.
I'm not always like, I'm not perfect. I have my episodes where I fall into it and I can feel it. Usually I know when it's coming on, and it's usually because I'm not wanting to actually deal with whatever I'm dealing with in life. It's resistance. So then what I'll do is personally, like I'll journal. I do my prayer journal. That's how I've learned to do it. I sit down and I go in there with all of like, what am I going through in life and where's the positive? I force myself to find, I'm like, yeah, I'm going through crap, but this is going to show me something. There's a lesson in this because I love learning. And if I don't want to come back into this loop of repeating it, I'm going to learn this lesson. I'm going to get the fuck out of it.
And you?
I'm perfect as fuck.
Perfect.
Because I don't give a shit what society thinks about me. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about me. Only thing that matters is what I think. Whatever created me, I can't control that. So why would I be upset with certain things I can't control?
Yeah.
The things that I can control, you damn right I'm going to do my best to control it. And that's how you got to live your life. That's how I live my life. You know, when someone says I'm perfect, someone's going to say, well, what the fuck? This douchebag's full of himself. No, I'm as perfect as I can be based on what I was given. That's it. I can't do anything else with things I can't control. You know, I can't control my ears, the shape of my ears. I can't control. I could, but that's other things that I don't want to get into, like surgery. That I'm not going to mess with that shit. So the mindset is there isn't anything that can really change me from being up here to be down here. Because the moment I let these things happen, the more I start looking for them. Things happen. We all go through shitty stuff. But how long do you stay down here? It's like, oh, okay, I felt that. Let me get back to who I am. Because I'm not down here. This is not who I am. Deal with it. Move on. Everyone goes through different shit. I can't give you she can't give you the actual equation, the puzzle of like, this is how you're happy. No, because we can only tell you what works for us. And ultimately, you have to be happy for yourself, with yourself, or do something about it.
Is that fan bugging you?
Which what you
It's
can
okay.
control.
It just blows in my face sometimes. It'll be okay.
Whoa.
Well, no.
Oh,
Oh my God.
damn.
I can't say anything.
You can't say anything like that on this show.
It's
Trust
okay.
me.
I play Xbox with guys all the time, and I'm always catching myself doing that, yet somehow I haven't gotten better at filtering it out.
Will you do me a favor? Will you stop the fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't look
stop it?
crazy.
Yeah, keep the fan running, but stop it so it doesn't oscillate.
Oh, that's a big word.
Bro, I've been trying. So, okay, let me ask you this. Do you think
Where do you want it to stop?
right there's fine, just as long as it's not blowing her. Oh.
It's just one thing after
Sorry.
another today.
I didn't even mean that.
It's working.
Look, so do you think that everybody can be positive?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's choosing to be where they're at. It's all a matter of perspective. Like, that's all that it is. And anybody can shift it. I mean, I used to have a super negative, like, outlook on life. And that's why I try so hard to make sure that I remain where I'm at. But I also learned in that negative, like, I learned so much. And even when I do fall back into it, I'm falling back into it for, like, a lesson. There's something that I'm supposed to learn in that, and I always do. And if I don't, I end up repeating it. But, like, it's gotten to the point where bad things that I think are bad, happen, and then I realize they're blessings in disguise. It's like, that's how I look at it a lot of the times, is there's always something.
How did you learn from it? What did you learn from it?
And what can you gain from it? You know, look at what you're getting rather than lack. Look at the abundance of everything. even those crappy times. Something didn't work out the way that you wanted to, there's still something positive there. But it's if you're going to be a victim to the situation or if you're going to be like a warrior of the situation. Are you going to go through that and be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, this happened, but guess what? Despite that, I'm still going to find the best in it. And that's one of the best things.
You said something a little bit ago that, for example, your parents only teach you what they were taught. Their mindset is only based on what they were taught. They can't really extend more than that. So you're going to take those basic thoughts, values, how to live your life. Now it's up to you if let's say you say you're like a negative thoughts most of the time or a lot of the time for protection. And a lot of it is probably based on how you grew up, based on what you were taught. So I think we all go through that phase where you feel as if this is what you deserve, this is who you are, this is all you get, and expect a lot of this because that's what we are as a whole, as a race, as a culture, whatever. And that's what kind of fucks you up, as opposed to saying, you know what, I don't have to be part of this group. I don't have to think this way just because my ancestors or my parents thought this way. No, you got to break from that ring, that circle, whatever that keeps you into that, nope, I can't get too happy because then this shit's going to happen. No, you just have to create your own shit and be open about everything. There aren't any limits to anything.
I don't feel like for me it's a cultural thing, though, because, like, even though I'm Mexican, like, we were raised, my all the Mexican people in my family are super whitewashed, so they didn't, that way of thinking wasn't really instilled in us. Everybody was just on their own. You know what I mean? So,
right, but the thought of, like, we should only get this far and that's success.
I don't feel that way. See, that's the thing is I have all these questions while you guys are talking. I'm trying to keep it up in my mind because I feel like you guys know what you're talking about because you live that way and I don't. So, and I think a lot of people don't. I think there's more sad people than there are fucking happy people.
I mean, it's the society we live in.
Right.
It kind of almost trains you to be that way.
But, like, one of the big questions I had in my mind, so does depression and, like, chemical imbalance not exist?
It does, but I think that people don't realize how much you can, what's the word I'm looking for? Change that on your own or... Like,
ooh, that's perfect.
Yeah, like,
thank you.
Like, I've learned because...
You can change chemical imbalance?
You can...
No such thing as depression, buddy.
You can change it or shift it in a way just with your mindset. So, like, this is how I look at it in, like, a physical sense, is because I started learning, like, because I have ADHD, you have issues with your dopamine. And I didn't even know that that's how that was. And so it's just, like, after learning some of that... And looking into that aspect more, I realized how many things are like dopamine or serotonin based. And if you can also boost your, I believe it was dopamine. It might have been serotonin. I can't remember because I did a group on this. People who live in like concentration camps or things like that will give them small tasks that they accomplish. And when you do that, you boost your dopamine by doing that. It could be something as simple as making your bed, but you have to make it a goal. And so then if you can make goals and accomplish those goals, you're learning so much in just that process. And you're also shifting the chemicals in your mind as well. And then you're also teaching yourself in those moments, like, I proved to myself that I could do this. So now I can move on to bigger things. And that's how you grow yourself, because you're also you're giving yourself like physical evidence. It's not just thought-based, it's action-based. And now you can keep on moving on. But there are ways that I personally feel like you can over time build your body to work for you, but you have to work with it. And I'm not against medications. Like, I think that if you're going to use them, it should be as a crutch, not as a solution, because it's like putting a Band-Aid over this wound. Like, what happens when you resist that and you need a bigger Band-Aid and a bigger Band-Aid and a bigger Band-Aid, and then soon it just doesn't work. And now you've gotten used to your body not producing it at all. That's why I always say to be easy with that, but I will never tell anybody what to do because it's your life, your journey. You know what's right for you.
Were you ever on meds for anything?
I took depression meds once and absolutely hated it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did not like it. It made me feel too numb and it felt like it was taking something from me. So that's why I personally don't like it for myself. when I was younger, I had like anxiety meds, but all that felt like is it was just like a high that you get from like a pain pill. Like it just kind of like puts you in that space, but you're not able, I would rather be able to do that myself with my thoughts.
Yeah.
Then I'm not dependent on pharmacy.
See, and these are just my opinions and how I live. I don't believe these are illnesses. I don't believe these are things that are with you forever. I think they're feelings. Just like you're happy because something great happened, you're happy in the moment. Just like something scares you, oh shit, it frightens you in the moment. Oh, you're sad because something happened or something's happening, you're calling it depressed. So now you're depressed. No, you're just sad because something made you get to that. A certain feeling, a thought in your head made you feel sad. For example, if, let's say, someone when they were a kid, they were made fun of because they were skinny as shit, thin, whatever. So his sadness, his depression comes from that feeling anytime anyone says anything or just when he brings it up because he knows it's there. But he can do something about it. If it affects him so much, he can do something about it. He can change that. Or, damn, I never have enough money. I can never buy this. I can never buy that. Now I'm going to fall in this slump. I feel sad. Oh, I got to go back to work tomorrow. To me, these are all things the individual can control. I think like anything in life, a pill is just a block for that moment, but it doesn't solve the issue. It's just a drug. We're so conditioned to, oh, I feel this. I got to go see a doctor. Doctor gives you a shitload of pills. Now you're not even yourself anymore. You're just going through like motions. You're just half of the person you are because you don't really feel or think the way you should. And it never gets rid of that feeling. You know, when I was 17, 18, I thought I was like depressed and that's just who I am, conditioned. No, I had issues. I had fucking shitload of acne. I wasn't like socially involved in school because of it. You know, that's what made me depressed. Now, how do I know it's not an illness? If I didn't have the acne and I was just like what I felt everyone else should be, I wouldn't have been depressed. I would have been just a normal person with being social with everyone because that's who I wanted to be. But I wasn't able to because I was being judged. So I think that's the thing. Either fix what you think should make you happy, or are you doing it for somebody else's relief? But that's just a personal, to me, I can't really control what people think. Scientists, doctors are going to say otherwise because they got to get paid. But that's just me, man.
So I know you said that you don't care what people think about you. Do you?
That's something that I had to unlearn. As long as I like me, that's all that should matter. When you get into this like sense of wanting others to validate you, you get into a dangerous place because now you're giving anybody outside of your self-control to make you feel how you feel. So if you start accepting you, like you don't have to love everything about you all at once. Like you have to learn how to do it and you have to accept your flaws. There's specific things that I don't always like. I'm like, dang, like I don't like that. And I catch myself falling into that. But I'm like, you know what? That doesn't matter because I'm a dope ass person. Like that's all that should matter. What I have on the inside, nobody else has that. Who you are, who he is, nobody else can be that. But the problem is if I try to be you, I'm going to like filter out who I am to try to fit your lens of perspective. And I'm never going to be authentically me, which means that I'm completely robbing the world of who I am and what I'm meant to do. And that's what we've created a lot in society is like, oh, you know, you go on Instagram and it's like, this is how you're supposed to look. And this is what's going to make you happy. So we chase these things being this cookie cutter version. Half the time, one, they're not even happy. Second, you lose yourself in trying to look a certain way for others' perspective.
Yeah.
Like you're chasing somebody else's validation who can't even validate themselves.
That's too much work, man.
It's exhausting.
It's
And
too
it
much
changes.
work to be like, I like these 5 or 6 people, but I have to be this person or look like this when I'm with this person or talk about this when I'm with this person. You know, and we were talking about it earlier. I think there's a different way of like seeing that. Are you doing it because you're able to, I hate to say the word dumb down, but it's just the easiest way for me to say like, I'm okay with being in different crowds and fitting in because I don't need to be the main character all the time. You know? So I'll be what it feels like, you know, whatever to be like that. So I can hang out with fucking 15-year-olds when they're talking about something that's in for them. You know, because the reason why I say 15 is because my son's 15, so he hangs around other 15-year-olds. You know, I hate this whole thought of like, well, you're this age, you should act like this, and you should always be this figure around other kids or just whatever. No, I think there's a difference between fitting in because you're able just to see the room and then having to forcefully be something else because you want to be part of this other group. Knowing damn well that's not who you are.
Faking the funk.
Yeah.
It's like more of like the first one's like adapting to your environment in a way that lets you relate to people, where I feel like the second one's kind of like not being authentically you. Like in the first one, you're still being authentic to who you are. You're just accessing different parts of you. Where like the second, you're not, you're trying to be somebody else. You're trying to pretend. And then that's what usually leads people, I feel like, to a lot of the depression or the anxiety, is because you are not being yourself, and your body knows that. And your mind knows that, and your body's like, hey, I'm screaming out because you're not listening to me, because this is not you. Like, you're so much better than this. It's trying to motivate you.
Can I tell you guys something? I feel like I've been putting that mask on that you were talking about, or I've been acting a certain way to fit in with certain people because I want to fit in that crowd, or I want to please people, or I want to be what people want me to be. I feel like I've done that for such a long time that if I truthfully, genuinely was just me, I would lose a lot of people. And
Be
the
okay
stuff,
with that.
but I'm not.
But you should, because that's when you know who should actually be in your life.
I know, but
Instead
I don't
of,
want to deal with
it's too
that
much work for you.
sadness of like, oh, they didn't like me. You know,
Nah,
what
man,
I
because
mean?
you know, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, we're not like, and I say we're, but that has nothing to do with me and you, but us as a whole, we're not 8, 9, 10, 11 years old to where, oh, Robbie doesn't like me anymore and he's going to go play with somebody else.
Yeah.
No, you're at the point in your life where you only need the people that are actually either better than you or have the same types of views as you, so that you can either continue to climb to where you want to get to or be comfortable with who you are. If you have to, if you feel like you got to fake something to be with someone, you shouldn't hang out with that person, because then in reality, you're saying that person doesn't like me for who I am, but then you're not giving that person the opportunity to actually know who the fuck you are.
But what if you don't know who you are because you've been trying to be this for everybody else? Like, dude, I don't know who I am, man. That's just real. And like,
You know who you are?
No.
I'm going to tell you.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm like, no, I just fucking said that.
Because I see it a lot, dude. I see a lot of the
I'm gonna cry, dude. I fucking feel it. It's in my eyes. It's in my
do
throat.
what you got to do, man.
It's
You
in
know,
my throat.
there's there's always shit in your throat. You shouldn't cry because you're used to that.
Like that though.
Yeah, let that fucking tear just roll out.
Yeah, dude, I need some
Okay.
mascara. What?
Come on.
Sorry, literally.
Whatever. Dude, so sometimes most of the time when you're in the gym, you have this demeanor about yourself. And I can tell because you don't always know when I'm there, but I can see you from a distance. Or maybe you do. But when you're walking, you have a demeanor of like, I know what I'm going to go get. I'm going to get it done. Get in, get out. That's what I kind of see. But I also see a little bit of lost.
Damn.
You feel a little bit, you're in there and you're lost. Not because you shouldn't be in the gym, but it could be something to where you're just more comfortable working out with somebody else or being with someone when you're doing what you're doing. Because I feel like when you're by yourself, you look vulnerable a little bit, where you're just kind of like, man, am I doing the right thing? Only reason why I know this is because I think the same way. Your size compared to my size doesn't change the thought of, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing enough? Because if we didn't think that way, we wouldn't be in the gym. Because if we knew we were doing, everything right, it would just be like, okay, whatever. And we wouldn't care about the gym. So that's not a bad thing that I'm telling you this. It's good to be vulnerable and to feel like I'm lost. Because now you can discover shit about yourself. You're a kind person. Just naturally you are. You know who you're not? And you sometimes bring it out, and I'm like, that's not who he is. This big, bad, rugged, I'll fuck you up, I will fucking, you don't know my past shit. That's why it's in the past, because that shit doesn't matter anymore.
What are you saying?
That's not who you are. You don't need that. You don't need that to feel like, well, you better respect me or I'm going to fuck. No, that's not the way it is. You don't got to carry that with you. Can you fuck someone up? Probably. But you don't need to carry it with you. That's not who you should be or who you are. Because then it's always like you're on edge or you're waiting for a certain moment. But that's not who you are anymore. You're kind. You're determined. You like working at things. That's who you are. You are improving. That's what it is. Because you see it. You know it. You know deep down, sometimes you'll tell yourself, I ain't fucking doing enough. Why am I lying to myself? How do I know this? Because I tell myself the same shit.
Yeah.
You're not too far away from what you feel is happiness. But you have to enjoy life as it comes and where you're at. You can't wait for this big aha moment. Now I'm happy. There's no such thing.
Yeah, I believe that.
So it's just live in the moment, enjoy everything. Dude, enjoy the now. The changes will happen as long as you're on it. You know?
Am I that see-through?
Sometimes when someone tries too hard, and it's not a negative thing, but when someone tries too hard, you can tell, like, no, that's not who they are. It's not what you are. It doesn't make you any less of a man.
Message out of nowhere? Do you see some shit too?
For me, when I do stuff like that, sometimes it's because I notice it. Sometimes it's just because I get the thought and I just go with that thought. Like I do it with everybody. Sometimes they'll be randomly like, why am I thinking about my mom? I'm gonna shoot her a text. Like I do that because it's just usually there's a reason why I have to do that. And every time that I do it, it's usually like, I don't know. It's just like I pick up on something and I'm like, okay.
And they feel good after, right? It's like you kind of get it like, okay, I'm supposed to do this.
Yep.
That's her listening to that voice, dude.
Like, I don't feel good right now because of what you just said, because it's absolutely true. I am tired of being the tough guy. I'm tired of being the one who's got to be in charge. I'm tired of being the one with the ideas. I'm just tired of being the fucking strong one. I just want to be me. But I think me isn't somebody that...
Is this you? Is this podcast you?
This has been me for a long time.
Okay. So this doesn't work for you then, right?
This?
Yeah.
No, this is my dream.
Okay. So anything you do that evolves around the podcast is not work. This is what you're doing. This is what you do. So what is that other thing that you say is like, I'm just tired of doing things, the hard work?
Well, because I said the hard work for me is outside of here.
Mm-hmm.
When I get to the gym or when I go to work or when I all this kind of stuff, I just don't feel worth it a lot of times. When I go to work, dude, my day job, I'm alone all but 20 minutes of the day.
Dope.
No.
Yeah,
because
bad.
I'm just by myself with my thoughts, and I don't like me very much, and I'm not comfortable with me. And then I go to the gym and I just had this 8-hour uncomfortable experience with someone that I don't like. And now I got to try to be something different at the gym. I tried to put on a mask, but I'm fucking exhausted. And then I got this night job, and I'm by myself 12 hours totally in the dark, nothing but feelings, nothing but thoughts, nothing but why do I feel so fucked up, and how come I'm not okay? Because I could write on paper everything that I have, everything that I've accomplished, everything good, but I can fuck that list because for some reason it just doesn't matter, and I don't get it. So that's why I wonder, is it chemical imbalance? Is depression? Can that be? I know you don't believe in it, or that you say that it's not real, but is there a possibility that it could be real, but you just keep going, because I get up every day and I do what I got to do. I
mean,
go.
yeah, you can have willpower through things. You can. It's just, it's going to change your life. You're exhausted because you're fighting your thoughts all day. When you're directing your energy and all of that negativity and you're fighting that, that's a lot of work. Like, you can still show up. You can still, like, be whoever it is that you want to be and still have these. It's just, it's keeping you from getting to experience a lot of things. And I feel like when you start tackling these thoughts head on rather than trying to avoid them at any cost, which is why, like, even today, like, people distract themselves in so many ways. Somebody who's overworking and looks like they're successful from the outside could be overworking because they never want to sit alone. Those same thoughts that you're talking about. There's so many people in the world. I mean, social media, video games, everything. There's so many distractions that people are like, I'd rather do this than figure out what's going on in my head. But you can still show up to life and live it, but are you living it if you're hating every second of it? Or, you know, you have these moments and then they lead to other things. So, like, all day you're beating yourself up and wondering why the gym feels so hard, because you're not even seeing that the person that you sat with all day, that's who you're investing this time at the gym in. You're not going to want to do that if you don't build self-love. And a lot of it is because it's not even your fault. Like, the way that everything is designed is like this way to keep you not realizing your full potential, not loving yourself. Like, when you love yourself, you invest in yourself. You make time for yourself. That's how you set boundaries. That's how you keep people from using you. And the fact that, like, how you said you're afraid to lose people, it's like you're afraid to make the realization that people are there and using you for something that you provide, instead of completely cutting them off and seeing who sticks around. Their real ones will stick around, and that's a blessing. You know, yeah, maybe you go down to a small number, but those small people are the diamonds. You got rid of all of the coal that was surrounding them, and now you know. And then what happens is you make room for the right people to come into your life. You make room for, like, more diamonds to show up, because now you set those boundaries and you're like, if you're just using me, and even people who use, like, I've learned I don't hold it against them, because they're probably in that same place that I was, not even realizing that they're doing it. I don't hold anything against anyone. I try to dive in there and understand, what are you dealing with that's making you feel this? Because no human wants to hurt another human in any possible way. We're all here. I feel like we're all built for loving and caring and creating. And you don't want to do that. But something in you is lacking to the point where you're doing that to other people. And because you're doing that to other people, that means that you're having to get that need met in a way that you don't like. And half of the time you're going to go and hold on to that.
Isn't that lonely, though? Isn't that sad? Like, imagine. So I've started setting those boundaries because I'm just testing the water, seeing, like, if I really am worth it to be true to myself and who's going to stay around or whatever. I'm losing people that on paper are supposed to be the number one.
Who?
Family.
Fuck that. I've already told you that shit.
I know.
That shit don't fucking matter, dude.
It matters to me, though.
Why?
Because it's all I've
Just
known.
because they taught you that shit? That,
Right.
oh, because it's your family, you got to love them even if they treat you like shit?
100%.
Fuck that.
I teach you.
I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Like you were saying, I'm kind to everyone. Everyone's a blank sheet of paper to me. I don't go into anything like, oh, I don't like that guy. Or I don't do that shit. I used to. When I was in my 20s, I used to be like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But no, when I meet someone, I give them the benefit of the doubt. Until you prove me wrong, I'm not going to do anything back to you unless you're physically, proving me wrong. But if it's just the way you treat me or the way you act, I'm just going to walk away and know I'm not supposed to be part of that. You can't just continue because you feel that's what I'm talking about. When you say, well, I don't feel like I was brought up that way. Yes, you were brought up to that loyalty is more important than what you actually feel in that moment. Oh, you can talk shit about me all day, but you know what? You're still my cousin, so I love you. Fuck that. That ain't shit to me, dude. You need to start weeding out the bullshit so you can focus on yourself. If you don't like being by yourself, no one's going to want to be with you. That's number one.
I believe that.
So you have to figure out, and I think you do it, but do something about it or just don't worry about it. Yeah, plain and simple. You're already doing most of it, but it's not going to be overnight. Nothing worth it is overnight. Or else stop the podcast. Fuck this shit. It didn't happen overnight, did it?
No.
Okay, so
this is like,
but it's just an example. The podcast, how you want to view yourself, is going to take work for it to be where it wants to be. But you have to be in the moment knowing that you're doing everything you can now.
My wife just asked me if I'm okay because my heart rate's over 120.
Or maybe there's a lot of hostility in here, and we're going to charge you $69.99 after this.
It's fear. It's not hostility, because I love what you guys are saying, and I wish that there was a switch that I could just... This fucking fly's killing me. I wish that there was a switch that I could just... I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. You wouldn't tell me this if it wasn't real. Mm-hmm. That's what makes it even harder for me, is like, what's wrong with me? Why won't I just do it?
I feel like you just need to figure out, it's not, and I can tell it's not hostility. It's just, you're asking these questions not in a way that's rebuting it. You're trying to figure it out and find your puzzle piece. You're learning what your puzzle piece looks like. I feel like the best way that I've learned to do that is to kind of ask myself why I think the way that I do, tackle my beliefs. Some of these are limiting beliefs. Some of these aren't even my beliefs. It's what's held my family down before, because they passed that down to me and they've never questioned it. They just thought this is what I learned. This is how it's got to be. If family is important to you, that's fine. You can still keep them around, but learn to set those boundaries. And if they leave, just know what you bring to the table. They realizing nobody can get you and anybody else. So even if it's family, if what you provided is authentic, they may leave, but you have to realize is everybody's playing this game of how serious are they? They're going to test your boundaries. If they're trying to get something from you, they're going to test them. And sometimes that means, well, I'm going to leave. If they want to leave, let them. But half of the time, they're going to come back. And if it's meant to be, it is. If it's not, you're going to find better situations. You just need to be able to put yourself on even playing ground with everybody else in your life. That's the biggest thing, is you think that you're less than, so you're treating yourself less than, and you're going insane in the process and I've been there. That's why I know I was a people pleaser to an unhealthy amount, and I still feel myself sometimes want to slip back into that, and I have to bring myself back to where I know what I bring. I don't owe anybody anything. I know my worth. And if you won't find me in another person, you won't find what I think, what I say, how I interact with you in another person. I bring my own special light to this world, and I bring up rooms when I talk with people. That's what I remind myself. And if you want to leave and miss out on that, that's fine, because you're going to be back.
Yep. And the way she views life and the way she views herself is being one of one. Whether you like it or not, you're one of one. Mm-hmm. That's what you are.
No.
And you have to understand that there's not another one like you. You're
That's
number one thing, dude.
I know.
The number one thing, if you can't, I hate the fake it till you make it deal, but you have two beautiful kids. If you have to fake it till you make it with them so that they understand shit's great as fuck always, and my dad's a fucking G.
Bro.
Hero.
How are you talking to me? This fly is fucking me up.
That's my homie. He's like, wake
he's
the
over
fuck
there
up.
dropping
He's
some
like, wake the
positivity
fuck
on
up.
you.
This shit,
He's
man.
like, wake the fuck up.
I smell good. Why are you on me?
More the
Fucker.
reason.
I thought they like trash.
Flies are flies, dude.
I thought they fucking like smells.
So
I thought.
well, if you smell good, it's still a smell, right?
Oh yeah, all right.
It's like anything in life. If you bring it up in good smelling stuff, that's what it's gonna like.
Oh.
If unfortunately a lot of these flies that were maggots came out of the trash can, that's just their environment, so they like those things. Doesn't make them bad.
Yeah, this
But now it takes that one fly. You're this one fly is trying to go to the good shit. Break away from the bad shit. There you go.
So just let them chill.
No.
The fly's
Take
a
that
metaphor.
example. Yeah. That fly is a metaphor for you to who gives a shit about where you fucking grew up and your loyalty. It's just go do your own shit. Who cares? I told you this a few weeks ago. You love your grandparents, but you understand you can't just be there with them if they're just going to break you down. You go visit them for a little bit, you're good to go. That's where you can fake it till you make it. You can deep down you can say, I don't really care about this person. This person doesn't serve me for whatever. I'm not going to disrespect them though, because I'm not going to lower myself. I'm above that, So there's going to be moments where you're going to run into these people.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean be like, fuck you. No. It's just like, hey, what's up? You still respect it, but you just don't interact. It doesn't serve you.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you got to do. It's like when you go to the gym, you can't avoid everyone because unfortunately, you're going to run into someone, and you're going to run into someone that maybe you don't see eye to eye with. But that doesn't mean you're just going to walk by and be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Or like nudge them. No, you're just going to be like, hey, what's up, whatever. And hopefully they don't start a conversation with you if you don't want that.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me ask you this. For someone that spends a lot of time with me, we see each other a lot. We're partners. Do you think that how am I trying to say this?
I don't think anything, but go ahead.
You don't think, okay.
No, it's either I know or I don't know.
Oh. Okay, so what are your thoughts of me asking these kinds of things? Like, I have to say, I have to use think.
No,
Do you
you're
think
fine.
that
You
I'm
could use it.
intentionally wasting your time by being sad and like talking like this all the time? Because I don't want to, dude. I don't like it.
In this realm right here, I don't mind it whatsoever. You know, once in a while, I don't mind pulling people out. But it gets to a point where, and I'm not talking about you, it gets to a point where you're just tired of pulling people out. And it's like, I don't care anymore. Go do you. Because you do your best. You give them.
Right? I'm just saying,
Right?
but that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Why? Because that person wasn't supposed to be part of that. Because it can work two ways. You can continue to pull someone out, and at some point, that person's going to pull you in. And now you're stuck with them in that bullshit.
Right.
So, again, in this realm, we could talk about this all day. But you already know how I feel.
Yeah.
I cannot continue to keep telling you the same things over and over again because it's the same thing.
I feel bad.
Don't feel bad because, you know, once in a while we need it. We need reminders. But you have to know what you're going for and not make excuses anymore. You can't make excuses to what you want, where you want to get to. You just have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to be very transparent with you. It's the weight thing. I already know that's what it is. That's the number one thing. If that went away, you wouldn't have these issues. You wouldn't even think about these things. But I told you from day one, that's not the reason why I'm your friend. Personally, I don't care what you look like if you don't care what you look like.
Yeah.
That's not what it is. But if you keep telling me you care about it, then I'm going to help you, or I'm going to do my best to get you to where you're going to get to. But the moment where it's like it's the same thing over and over again, it's like, no, it's not. It's not what you want. I tell you this wholeheartedly, Garrett. What you look like doesn't determine whether you're my friend or not.
Right.
You don't have to force to be something. If that's not what you want to be, it doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't, dude. Like, trust me. Being fucking 300 pounds, 350, 400, that shit doesn't matter to me. Garrett at 450 and Garrett at 180 is the same person to me.
Damn, 180, dog.
It's the same person.
Sexy as fuck, huh?
Well, whatever you feel is sexy is sexy. That's all it is. It only matters what you think. But that's my thing is like you need to know what you want and you need to know who you are because I'm always going to be in this realm with you. But out there, that's where we talk about your circle and you want to be as strong as your weakest link. If you want to move about this world, you got to be strong as shit. And not because I want you to be strong, but I know who I want my people to be like. And I'll just lead by example, or I won't even lead by example. I like having leaders around me. Everyone does things special. Like I'm not the be all end all. I know what I provide, you know. So if I'm always this positive type of person and understand like there's always better, there's always better, there's always better. Yeah, there's gonna be shitty ass times. That's life.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have those shitty ass times, you don't understand what good feels like. That's just the work. That's just okay. I'm built for this. The reason why I'm doing this is because whoever created me or whatever created me knows I can withstand what I'm going through. These things don't happen because someone's mean to me and someone doesn't like me. No, it's because you can do it. Get through it. There's a lot more better.
Yeah.
But go through it with determination. Decide what you want and do it. but do not do it for someone else's. She said it perfectly. Don't do things to feel like you have to do them to be part of a group. Because I'm not telling you to do that. But if you feel you have to do that, dude, you're going to keep running in the mud. Trust me.
Yeah. I feel like scared because I do keep talking about the same things over and over, but that's just because it's just in my, that's how I feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a clock winding down, and at a certain point, everybody has a different amount of time on that clock, and it's gonna bug them and bug them and bug them. It's gonna take their energy. They're gonna be tired of saying the same thing, tired, and that time's gonna run out, and then they go away. Well, so here's the thing. So if you go away, I already am alone all day. I don't like being alone, so now I'm gonna be even more alone. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a very scary.
But then you put pressure on that other person to feel like, oh shit, if I'm not around, he's going to feel a certain way.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I want to be good enough that person wants to be around. Do you get?
I get it.
Okay.
I get it 100%, dude.
All right.
Again.
Sorry for, hey.
No.
This is good. Tired.
I mean, from just the outsider looking in, your perspective essentially on what he's feeling, or just even the whole thought of like, if you don't want to do something and you're doing it just to please other people, like you said earlier, like what's the actual thing you want?
Me?
Yeah, what is it that you want?
I don't know.
That's a hard question to ask. Like it's a hard question to answer. You don't have to have the answer necessarily, but it's one that you need to tackle. And I feel like once you start trying to tackle that, you start tackling, okay, well, obviously I'm trying to better myself, but what are you bettering yourself for? What are you doing all these things for? Start questioning. There's a commonality behind all of them, and the fact that you're willing to ask these questions, be vulnerable, means, and it shows that you're trying to grow and you want to grow. Even with you obviously care so much about him that you're afraid to lose him, which is why you're trying to better yourself. You have to remember, you want to better yourself for you. You want to be able to, it's not about keeping the people around. You want to be able to be alone by yourself and enjoy it, and have those thoughts that you're having and be able to tackle those problems on your own. And that's a great thing. And you're asking all of the questions and trying to get all of the answers, which shows you see where you're at and you don't want to be there. Like that shows so much room for growth. So I feel like it's just,
go ahead, sorry.
It's just takes time. You're making the right steps. You just don't know. That's why you keep on asking the same things and talking about the same things, is because you are understanding it a little bit. But sometimes what I've realized and how I am is I will, to the best of my ability, I will always talk people out of like that spot or pull them out, like he said, because I've been told this by other people. I say the same things in different ways. But what people don't realize is sometimes that gets through to somebody a little bit different, which is why sometimes I'll use metaphors, like how he used the fly. You can speak to people on different levels, and it's going to get through them differently.
I feel as if it's the same way in the common male-female relationship where, or maybe just to grab someone's attention, where it's like, you have one person is cool, whatever, and they're doing everything they can to get with this person. Person finally says, okay, yeah, let's go out. But then that person is always just trying to find, what can I do to make her feel like she should never leave me? Doesn't that push them away a little bit, where it's like, it's a lot, you know?
And that's a whole
because
dynamic.
Who you are as a person should be enough, because then it's too much work. Dude, imagine pretending to be someone that you're not, or that you don't want to be, just to hold on to one person. One, you're doing two things.
I don't have to imagine.
No, well, I'm just saying, if you want this circle to continue, you're doing disservice to two people, to yourself, because that's not who you want to be, and two, the other person who feels like they have to like continue to find a way to get you out of that.
Yeah.
Or, okay, does this person, this person doesn't think that I don't like them for who they are as a person.
And that sucks. I don't want to put that on them. I swear I don't.
And you shouldn't. So I get it. Like, you go through things and you feel like that's the way life is. You're still young as shit, dude. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. You're going to be, what, 31? Again, age to me doesn't matter. But, dude, I remember when I was fucking 31, and I was like, okay, I didn't fucking know shit. You know, I had a kid. He was 5 years old, 6 years old. You know, I thought I knew everything. I thought I should have had everything figured out. The person you are now, dude, it is going to be like miles away from the person you're going to be when you're 35, 36. You don't have to wait for that. But the last thing you want to do is to continue to be someone you're not to please other people.
Yeah.
Because, again, you don't want to be that. Two, you don't even know if that person cares if you're this person or not.
True.
Figure it out. Find out. That's how you find out these are the real people. These are not the real people. That's it. Because then if not, dude, you're going to be stressed out for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
If you continue to fake something that you're not or you don't want to be. Again, I told you from the first show we did, even before, I don't care who you are as it pertains to what you do, how hard you work. No. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you.
Yeah.
But you don't got to prove shit to me. You know? As long as you don't fucking slap me in the head or anything, it's cool.
Yeah.
You know? You don't really got to do much. Relax. Go get what you're going to get. Learn. And I think that's one of the biggest things. You work by yourself a lot. And I think life's trying to teach you something with that. Is you're going to keep working by yourself until you figure out to love yourself. Being by yourself.
Yeah.
Because you have to, man. And I love being by myself, dude. You know, there's times to kick it and hang out and talk about things and create relationships. But truthfully, there's nothing like this day is for me. Not because I don't like people, but I think you need that.
Yeah.
I know I need that. That's just part of my makeup. I have to just... It was funny because where was I having the conversation? At work, and I brought it up when I did the podcast by myself. They were asking me, well, how come you're single? Well, one, I don't decide that. You don't decide like, oh, you're single or not. It's just not your time. But then I was like, I messing around, I told them the reason why I'm single is because I want that person to be there with me when I need them, but for them to understand that when I don't need them, to not be there.
Yeah.
Which is not reality. And I said it. I said it's not reality. You have to learn to like bond either way and figure things out. Because that's not, you can't be like, okay, I need this day by myself. Fucking leave.
Right.
That's not how that works. You know? But jokingly, that's what I felt. So maybe that's why I'm not. You know? Because I'm always going to be 100 with anyone that I care about. I don't got to tell the whole world. I mean, I'm doing it on this. But I don't have to tell the whole world. I'm going to tell you exactly what I feel because that person deserves it. And it's too hard to lie. It's too hard to remember shit. You lie, then you got to remember, like, didn't you say this? You're like, oh, fuck. Let people know what you are, who you are from the get if it matters to you.
Yeah.
That's it.
How did you get out of that? Did you ever have that way of thinking? I think I heard you say that you... Just that is it self-loathing?
Yeah, like a lot of my life. You know, I grew up super overweight in high school, and that messed with me a lot. The environment at home messed with me a lot. So, like, I never saw myself as worth anything, like, so much of my life. And it was constantly, like, the environment that we were living in was constantly tippy-toeing around other family that we were living with and having to modify who I was, watch what I say, watch what I do, to make sure that there wasn't going to be a fight. And if there was a fight, then I would get in trouble for starting the fight. And it was just this whole situation, constantly just like mental turmoil, on top of dealing with my image of myself, on top of my parents also setting into my head that because they thought since they were overweight, that made them less than. And so then every day seeing that, even though my parents are like, no, we love you, like, you're perfect, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but then you're saying this about yourself. So I'm like picking up on this subconsciously. So much of me learned that I was less than, and that my only job was to make sure that other people were happy. I'm good at that. I'm still good at that, but now I've used it in a positive way. And what I had to do was pull myself out of the limited thinking of, I am worth something. I am more than what I provide. And there has been times where I have been the other person trying to do everything to keep somebody in my life, how he was saying, trying to prove my worth to them, because the fear of losing them was masking the fear, the thought of, I'm actually, like, I bring value to this. There's a reason why they're choosing to be around me. But I got so wrapped up in the fearful thinking that all my focus became on that. And ultimately, like, I ended up pushing them away without realizing it. And I had to pull myself out of playing victim with that and take accountability of the parts I could control. I was like, hey, you were trying to give them everything, but it wasn't in an authentic way. And then with that, you came resentment and expectations from them. And then when you put those expectations on them, they could feel it. And then it was starting arguments. And then what started out to being fun and enjoying my authentic version of me, I became somebody else. So I have been there. And that's like one of the biggest eye openers for me, was that experience that if I want to show up and be the most that I can be for people, I have to be the most for myself. I have to set those boundaries, and I have to realize I'm allowed to exist how I want to exist. And if you don't like that, I don't care, because I've been hiding behind who I am my whole life. I will never go back to that.
Now, what do you do on those days that you don't want to show up for other people? You just don't?
Like, when I don't, everybody that I have around me, I'm able to communicate with. There are certain people that are not as perceptive of what I'm trying to say sometimes. So I've learned how to kind of navigate to their way of viewing the world and explaining it in a way that they can understand of what I'm going through. Because sometimes I can tell somebody, hey, today's just not this. I'm going through this, this, and this, and I need to tackle this problem. And other people, I just have to kind of limit it to I'm not feeling good. I need to, like, take time for me. But that doesn't always happen. Sometimes people still get upset, but I still go to the point where I'm like, I can't deal with this. We can put this on pause. You can respect my boundaries, or you can get mad by yourself over in a corner. I don't care, because if I don't engage, if somebody's getting mad at me and I don't engage, they're going to eventually stop, because what they're trying to do is get you riled up in this, like, conversation of taking your energy. And if you don't have energy to give, or you put that wall down, they're going to fight with themselves at that wall. And you can be like, I'm sorry them to death if they're trying to, like, pull you into that. And guess what? They're going to get tired of it, and they're going to stop. You have to realize that you not only have to set that boundary, but detach yourself from the situation of needing to prove yourself to anybody, deal with it at a later time, and then just set your boundaries and keep them.
So making sure that you do everything that's fucking fine.
Every time you're talking to.
Making sure that you're okay, and making sure that you're taken care of, and making sure that you only surround yourself with the people that benefit you, or that aren't bringing you down, or that are helping build you. Is that selfish to say, oh, you have a problem, deal with it on your own, because it's not me, it's you? Is that a selfish way of thinking?
So what I will do is, I know where my limits are. I tend to, because of how I've been in the past, I tend to still be able to have a capacity to help people to a higher level than what some other people can. Me and my roommate, like, we'll talk all the time, and sometimes we've realized that, and it's never in a negative way, but she's like, I just can't do what you can do, because we'll have really deep conversations. And I'm like, everybody's got a different purpose, just because I'm able to do this doesn't mean that's what you can do. What you need to do is find what works for you, and that's not selfish. You don't have to do it in an asshole kind of way. You can just be like, hey, I would love to help you with that. Either one, if you don't know, I always explain, I don't know how to help you with that, but we can try to talk about it if I have the energy to invest in that. If I don't, I tell them I would love to help you with that, but right now I'm kind of dealing with some stuff. Can we do this at a later time? It's about finding the balance of, I still want to be there for you, but I got to put me first.
I got to start charging you. At some point, I got to get money. I got to get paid for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be a life coach. There's always got to be a bottom line. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Anything you do in life, you want something in return. That's going to give you the motivation to be like, let's go. We talk about it all day.
Right.
You on the clock. Let's go. you know. But yeah, you can't. It just goes back to you could only give people so much information. You can't force anyone to do anything. You can't change anyone's mindset. It's like I always go back to the addiction. You're never going to stop anyone from their addiction until they realize it themselves. Mm-hmm. That's it. You can give them all the instructions, all the advice, your past knowledge, all those things. It doesn't matter until they decide, okay, yeah, I just want to be myself, and this is what I want to show the world. Nothing else matters. It doesn't matter what I say.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what she says. You're going to pay her $69.99 after the show.
Yeah, 69.
That's part of it. You know?
It is? Oh, then I'll sign up.
No.
If that's a part of it, I'm signing up.
Well,
no? What?
Nothing, man.
I hear what you're saying.
No, but don't hear me. Either absorb it or understand that that's not who you are. Plain and simple, man. You don't have to be anyone you don't want to be. That's trash.
I believe you.
You don't.
I believe you.
I feel like sometimes the hardest part is that I almost look at it this way. When you're going through all this stuff, it's like you have an ego about you, right? And it's about, a lot of people are just like either trying to completely get rid of it and ignore it, like thinking that they can just do that. But sometimes when you get to like know that part of yourself, all of these aspects that you don't like, then you have like more control over it, which is why sometimes people have a hard time with like wanting to help other people, because maybe they found their own way, but they don't like realize it. Sometimes you're triggering things in other people that they still need to deal with. And that's why sometimes when it comes to like that persona of you, it's not because somebody doesn't want to help you. It's just because sometimes you start to make them feel things that they are trying to avoid too. Same way that I could accidentally trigger you by just doing something that maybe is within my ego.
Yeah.
And I'm going to trigger that of you. And then that's when we get into these misunderstandings a lot of times, which is why I always say it's good to know yourself, because then you can show up as yourself and understand why you're doing what you're doing. And if you have a disagreement with somebody, it lets you take a step back from it and not just immediately go to these defensive emotions like anger or whatever. Because usually anger is what a lot of people put on. It's an instinctual thing to like, you're not going to mess with me because now I am safe, because I am scaring you into submission. But then if that person doesn't get scared into submission and has the same fight attitude, then that's when you run into all of these issues that we have in the world too.
To kind of go on to a different subject.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in the gym a lot, and on your Instagram you have befores and afters and durings and all that stuff throughout your journey.
Mm-hmm.
How did that help you become more confident in like being the person that you are today, being able to say, I know my worth and I'm going to show you by showing me?
And you don't need me to say this, but good job thus far.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
Amazing.
appreciate that. I really appreciate hearing that. If I'm being honest, like a lot of previous, like this year was sheer willpower of like getting to that point of just like powering through, because I was kind of on this is what's going to make me happy if I look a certain way. And then I ended up taking, like I fell off for a few months at least, and it took time to like really evaluate me and get my mind right. Me losing weight had nothing to do with building my mindset. I realized I have to build my mindset before I was starting to build who I was on the outside. And that was a hard thing to do. Now, there were times when I was like, yeah, I feel more confident, but then those thoughts would always come back and I'd start to believe them. So a lot of times, and I wouldn't even see how much work I put in. I would still feel like the same person. And sometimes I still do that. I don't realize how much work I put in, and then people tell me, and my body and my mind try to negate it by being like, they're just saying that to be nice. They're just saying that for this. And it's not true. I fucking put in a ton of work. Mm-hmm. I see that. But it's your mindset that needs to change first. And then when I started changing that, I've noticed this has been the actual like one time with going to the gym since the beginning of this year, I'd say, is when I started getting back on track with my mindset and the gym. And this is the first time where I'm like, I know I'm getting there. I'm not stopping. I fell off when I was feeling sick a couple weeks ago. And even during that time, I was like, okay, this is just a break period. I'm going to be back on it. And now I'm back on it. Like, I'm like, I know that I can see the end result. And I don't care when I get there. I'm not in a rush. because I'm going to consistently show up. I love going to the gym now. It's not me forcing myself there for some future version of myself. I'm going there because it makes me feel good. Like,
that's dope.
I like it. I look forward to it in my day. And some days there's like, dang, I'm thinking about those stairs. I don't want to get on that shit. But I'm like, you know what? How good am I going to feel
Some
after?
days.
I give myself that goal.
I'm like that every day. Like,
I have days where actually sometimes I look forward to it.
okay.
Like I actually am like, I have so much energy that I'm like, I just like need to like get it out. Like I can almost feel it in my chest. And I'm like, that's going to like release that energy that I have built up.
I know what you mean.
Yep. But a lot of days it's like, okay. But I also learned, I feel like that's how I kind of tricked my brain with the whole dopamine too, is because what I start focusing on is not having to do the work. I'm like, you know how good I'm going to feel when I see that 33-minute mark on those stairs? I'm going to feel accomplished as fuck.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I do it, I'm like, dang, I did that. I'm breathing hard. I'm sweating. But I've kind of tricked my brain into loving it. And I actually enjoy going to the gym.
And that's part of it because, you know, people will go to the gym because they want to see results. Oh, I want to do bench because I want my chest to pop out a little bit. Like you're saying, sometimes I just want to go do the workout just to do it. And I don't care about the results. I have to do it to feel a certain way, to get this whatever. That's my addiction. I've always told everyone the gym is my addiction. I will find whatever, any way to get there. I can have a lot of things going on, but I got to find that time for that. Mm-hmm. And I'll find a way to sneak out of whatever I'm in to go do that. But, yeah, it's like I don't always just go to be like, okay, I'm going to do shoulders today so that this – no, sometimes I'm like I just want to push it. Mm-hmm. I just want to do that workout because it just makes me feel a certain way about it. Not for the looks, just I have to get it out. I have to get that aggression out. I always told my son, I'm like, I'm a very, like, chill, mellow guy. Like, I won't get loud, this, that, or the other. But if I didn't go to the gym, I'd be a very angry person because I knew who I was before.
Yeah.
And when I mean angry, where it's just like any little thing, boom, explosion. Like, explosions just going off. Any little thing would trigger me because of how I felt when I was in high school, of things that happened to me in the past where it was like, what are you looking at? Why are you looking at me that way? Like that type of shit. Insecure. Mm-hmm. That's why people are the way they are, because they're insecure. The bad feelings, the reactions that they don't want to put out, it's because of their insecurities, you know? But they're just your insecurities. They're not everyone else's insecurities, and it's not fair for everyone else, you know? So I learned the gym was like the way to just like release anything. And I don't have that anymore, but it's okay to just still do that and still release whatever's in there so I can just stay right here, but always positive. But I'm just always here.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot for me to like come down or to even like in a bad way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because I think there's bad in both. You can like be like super like down, like, man, my life sucks. Or like, fuck everybody, this, that, and the other, like, fuck the world, you know, that type of shit. You know, they're both negative, but it's just different reactions. So that keeps me here, and I enjoy everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy. I'm gratitude, dude, like grateful to be alive. Like grateful to have the stuff that I have.
Yeah.
And if I want more, then do something about it. You know, you can't like bitch and moan about stuff and then just hope for shit to happen. You have to put forth action. Now you have to put the thought into it and see yourself in that, you know, whether it be a better job, view yourself in that, more money in your bank account, view that, feel it, and then now figure out how do I do it. Mm-hmm. So there's always, you need the thought, which is like the plan, but then you need the action as well.
So, okay. So like I was saying earlier, I could write down, I don't hate my life. Mm-hmm. I could write down
Oh,
on
you
paper.
shouldn't. I wouldn't let you, man. Like, because I do mean to cut you off. You need to you need to live your life for those two kids and your wife.
Yeah.
Your lady. I don't know if she's your wife. Is that like, so if you're not married, is she still your wife? Are you married?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. I'm just asking. So now I know your wife.
I mean,
because some people don't get married anymore.
Common law.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Your wife. I'm not saying that. Samantha, Stephanie. I'm not
Stephanie.
saying that. I'm not, I'm just figuring it out. You need to be a fucking man for them.
Yeah.
Always. And you fucking go. That's the most important part. Everything else don't fucking matter. Let things fall into place. That's number one. That's it. What you feel don't fucking matter, dude. You're a fucking man.
Sure.
Let's go.
Okay.
That's it, man. Fuck
Yeah.
all this bullshit. We don't cry.
Oh, I cry, baby.
We don't fucking cry.
I cry, dude.
We don't fuck. Just
Listen,
kidding.
so what I was saying,
Just kidding.
I agree. So I don't hate my life. What was I saying? I don't hate my life, but like I could write on a piece of paper all the great things that I have that a lot of people in this world don't, that I should be grateful for.
There you go.
But like I can also, it doesn't feel as good as I think it should. Like I don't care about it.
Then do
doesn't
something about it.
What?
Figure out what you want on that list that you don't have there, because maybe that's what it is, and it's probably not something in the physical. It's probably like something that you, whether it be a purpose or something, there's something else that you want, because I used to be so driven of I'm going to make myself this like great life that everybody's going to look at and they're going to like be jealous of, and that's when I'm going to know I made it. No, I actually don't really want to be seen anymore. I just want to be happy. That's all I care about. But I was chasing others' ideas. So the idea of success is really a matter of perception. Whose idea of success are you chasing? Yours, or what society has told you is success?
You speak so matter of fact. I don't hear you saying or or anything. I feel like you really know your shit. And like that
Just
comes,
She
that
does.
song.
you do.
She does.
And that comes from all the work that you're putting in. I'm going to be honest. The biggest thing that's screaming in my head right now is
Pancakes.
pancakes.
Hell yeah.
But you're not.
And
ever-
butt?
Pancakes and butt. You're never going to get to a point, that aha moment, or like life is great and it's going to be great for forever. There's always going to be stuff that's going to come into you. There's always going to be bumps in the road.
What the fuck? There ain't nothing coming into me.
Yeah, dude.
No.
There's always stuff that's going to happen in your life. And are you really telling me that you have to choose to just be cool with it and be happy with it? Because that's so fucking terrifying to me.
I mean, you don't have to, but do you want to? Like, I have things that happen, like just recently. There was this whole job that I was hoping to get, and I found out I didn't get it. It was going to be a work from home. It was going to let me have a lot more time to start working on things. And so I was like, I'm kind of over the job I'm on. And now, so I was like, I wanted to just have something with a little bit better of a schedule. I didn't get it. And I was like, okay, you know what? That's because maybe that would have been a distraction from focusing on building this whole life coaching thing.
Boom.
Maybe that's why I have to be where I'm at. It still happens.
Hey, shut up, man.
It still happens. All of these negative things are going to happen, but I'm not going to give power to the negative thoughts. Like, I'm going to, okay, cool, that happened. What you going to do? You're only going to be a bad situation if I let you. And I look at them as almost like, people look at it however they want to look at it, but almost look at it as if those negative experiences are trying to attack you. They're trying to attack your peace. Fuck that. It ain't taking my peace from me. Like, you can come at me, give me whatever hell you want. If I have to live in a box, guess what? I'm going to have a cool little freaking box rug. I don't care. I'm going to find some positive in there. I'm going to meet a lot of cool people. I'm going to have a story when I'm done with that, and I'm going to focus on how I'm going to get out. No matter what life throws at me, I'm going to be positive about it, because that's the only way that I win.
Yep.
Is there like a little exercise or like a little activity that people can focus on or do to make those decisions easier?
Like, to be positive about it.
Yeah. Like how do you actively think to stay positive?
Well, first I started with journaling. That helped me. Everybody's different. You can type it on your phone. You can make a video on your phone. Some way to get it out and to just talk with yourself or with somebody else if that's how you need to. I do well by myself. And I go into it of, okay, this is a shitty situation, but I'm going to look at it as if that's the enemy. And how do I make sure the enemy doesn't get in? Well, that's with positivity, because that's going to drown out all of that darkness. So then what I'll do is I'm just like, all right, my intention of whatever I'm doing, which is journaling, I'm going to find the positive in it. So I'll completely go into whatever I'm feeling at that moment. If I want to beat myself up, I'm going to beat myself up. I'll be my bully for a second, but then I'm going to flip that shit around. I'm only allowing myself a little bit of time to allow the negative so I can feel it, but then I'm going to find the positive in it. That's personally what works for me.
So don't stay
Everybody's
in it.
different. Huh?
So just don't stay in it.
No, because I mean, you're gonna start branching out, and then now what you're doing is that one little negative thing. Like if you think of it as like an arrow attacking you, and it's like you can see like that's the warning arrow before the whole rain is gonna come, and you're not moving out of the way. You're bringing that on yourself, and it's not like it's about learning how to get out of that situation. And half of the time, it's like you're the one shooting yourself with the arrow. You're like, oh, I got stabbed with the arrow here. Let me just add more.
Damn.
Yeah, that I love that metaphor. I've always used the one where if there's something that you want to change or you're facing a problem, a lot of people they have their sack, their bag.
Oh.
Their bag, dude. Come on. And, this little problem, they put it in their bag, keep going. Oh, here's this little problem, put them in their bag, keep going. Now that shit's fucking heavy as fuck because they're not handling it from that. Like, if you get rid of it, you don't have to carry all this shit. You see something you want to change, deal with it, deal with what you can, and then move on. Write shit down, dude. Journals, brainstorming about what you don't like, or just figuring out, is this for me or not? Pros and cons. What's the pros of this and what's the cons? What outweighs what? Sometimes you're still going to be in something that maybe has a con, but there's like 8 pros to it. It's okay. Figure out the con. Can you deal with it or can you get rid of it? Write things down because and it also holds you accountable. I write a lot of things down.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would never think that of you.
Fuck, you think I just play Apex Legends all day?
No, I just thought you had it.
That's
no.
what I'd be doing sometimes.
Yeah, that's the best game
you
ever.
play Apex too?
Oh,
I'm missing out, dude. I
Here
don't
we
play
go.
shit, bro.
Who's your favorite character?
I've been jumping between them, but I usually main Ash.
Okay. Ash and who?
Ash and who? What do you mean? Like who else?
Yeah.
Oh, I've kind of just jumped between whoever I'm feeling, to
Okay.
be honest. I played a lot of them. I'm pretty good at Seer.
Okay. Cool. She won't take my characters. Wraith and Horizon. Octane sometimes.
Yeah, those are pushing ones.
Yeah.
I'm not the greatest at pushing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, you're a gamer?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. I
Fuck.
play a lot.
But I just play that game. That's it.
Oh.
That's the
I
only
play a
game
lot
I play.
of games.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag right now again.
Okay.
That shit's dope.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
So, like I said previously, even on a whole different note, write 50 things that you want to get done or accomplish. Start today. You don't have to finish your list of 50 today, but, within the next couple of days. It can be as small as make the bed.
Yeah.
Wash all my clothes. Get a new car. That's how big, how small it can be. 50 things.
Oh, you mean and then just start working on it, but however long it takes you to get it.
No, like...
I see what you're saying.
Well, yeah.
I got you.
And, even if you don't get through all of them in like 6 months, but you cross off like 30,
Yeah.
fuck.
It's still a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you get rid of those 30, add 30 more.
Yeah.
You don't have to focus on the other 20 that you probably didn't get done, but they're still there. It's still a possibility because some things take longer than others. And you can write the same thing. Do all the laundry again today.
Yeah.
So that Samantha and Steffi don't have to do it today. On a Sunday. Whatever. Yeah. Little things like that. You can have things that are minuscule to somebody, but they might be big for you. Like for me, making the bed is big.
Yeah.
Because my thought process has always been like, I'm going to lay in this bitch again tonight. Why the fuck do I got to make it? But it's the whole thing about structure and doing things, because if you just let things go, that's how you're going to live your life. Your car is always going to be a mess. You're always going to wait till your fucking car is on empty to put gas. Why? Be ahead of the curve. Be more structure and everything in life. But that might work for you. Maybe it doesn't. But try writing things down. Try brainstorming, figuring out, why am I where I'm at if I don't want to be here?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes things are blessings. Like when my lease was up in my last house, because I don't want to buy now because shit's ridiculous. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to rent another house. That's what I wanted. So I was looking for houses. And I was like, man, I like this house. I was in it. I already visualized myself in it. I'm like, yep, this is it. But then you get the application back, you didn't pass, whatever, this, that, and the other. And that happened for like 4 or 5 houses. I could have been like, fuck, what am I going to do? This shit sucks. So I was like, you know what? Just go look for an apartment. And that happened like nothing. It was quick. you know. So to me, I wasn't like, man, I could have been in this 1,500 square foot home, 3 bedrooms, whatever. But now I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment, 1,000 square feet. Woe is me. No. I was like, you know what? Maybe I needed this more simpler way of living.
Yeah.
To where I'm not worrying about like the backyard, the front yard, this, that, and the other. It's just what's inside. And less room, less mess, because if you see something, you pick it up.
Yeah.
Because I know who I am. And I know those are things that I have to work on. Like, don't let things build up. That's always been my problem. Is like, let things build up. Or just procrastinate on shit. Like, okay, I'll do that later.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this bill. It's not due to the 19th. I'm going to wait till the 18th. Oh, shit, it's the 20th. Now you got a late fee. Just fucking do it now. You know? So little things like that, And that was a blessing for me. Like, it works for now until that next move, whatever it is. And I accept it, but I put forth positive energy and to just keep bettering my life. Energy's real. Don't let people take that shit from you. Do not let motherfuckers take that shit from you, and don't take it from people that you love. Don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, just... And you have to understand when people are trying to do it. That way, buddy.
Hey, dude,
He's a small guy, so he's cool. He's very small.
Why is it in here, though? There's no trash. I don't have a trash can.
I brought it with me.
Okay. I don't know how he got in here.
Again, he's not trash, dude.
Flies are trash?
No, he's cool, dude. Just let him chill.
No.
His name's Francisco.
Francisco the
Fly.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Dope.
Sorry, Frankie.
He's probably like, your fucking spider's fucking trash.
I threw it away.
That's why.
I got you.
There you go.
You know what I want to get? A big-ass taxidermy alligator head to go on top.
Oh.
That shit's dope.
I got it. Wear it like right here?
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Like a predator?
Yeah.
We're coming up on time.
No, we're not.
We are.
No, we're not.
Okay, you edit this video.
Just kidding.
Thank you.
Wait, are we?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, we got like another five minutes or so.
We got 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
That's weird because I said
All right,
5.
I can talk really fast. Let me just...
It's weird because I said 5.
8. It's 8 minutes. It's infinite. 8's a good number.
Here. Anyway, look, so first of all, thank you very much for coming on. Second of all, and thanks for introducing this part. I like giving the people the last word.
Yeah.
He introduced that on like episode 3 with us, and it's what I like to do now. But what are your last thoughts? What's the biggest issue that you want to tackle on? Do you have anything that you want to promote, social media, stuff like that?
All of it.
Anything that you want to announce that's coming up? You got 5 minutes.
Well, honestly, as far as tackling things, I'm just finding my own way to try to help people. Trying to, I guess, spread more information on how people can work to get themselves out of that kind of darkness. That's why I want to get into the whole life coaching thing. But that's still in the works as far as that goes, so I don't have anything going on that. I need to actually buckle down and start creating things from it. I just had to get over the doubt that came with it, which is one of the things that I always have to do. But
I told you could practice on me.
And quickly, it can be doubt because you're actually going to start getting paid for it or whatever. But understand you're already doing it. So if you're already doing it now, don't let that to work, because we all feel like we should know a little bit more before. No, just do it now.
That's what
Right
I do
now.
need to do, and I feel like this
She's a life coach. Let's go.
I'm a life coach.
There you go.
But yeah, I feel like I got a lot more confidence over the time. That's why I'm grateful for the job that I have now. It gave me a lot of experience and outside validation, because sometimes you do need that little reminder. I'm not going to say that outside validation is a bad thing. It's just you can't focus solely on it. And yeah, that's what I guess I'm trying to do, is just do what I've been doing, but be able to focus all of my time on it by being able to make money on it.
You have to go to school for that?
You don't have to go to school for it. You usually want to get certified. Like right now I've been talking with the life coach, and she's going to talk to me more this coming week. She might bring more people onto life coach, like within her business, or kind of help them build a business and kind of give them input. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to go after knowledge and see where I can go with that.
Yeah.
See if she can give me some advice and pointers on that, and it kind of helps you, but I'm not a huge school person because I feel like you can learn a lot more on your own. It would be for the certificate mostly because I've read tons of books. So.
Yeah, college is a waste of money unless you're going to go to be a doctor, something that we need in life, like a doctor, a lawyer, things of that nature, then you need that knowledge in college that rhymed. Okay.
So
But
it's
other
gotta be
than that,
true,
you
dude.
can just figure stuff out. There's, courses you can take specifically for what you want to do, whether it be a trade or you need a certificate for whatever. That's the better way. You're not wasting all your money, kids, parents. Let's go.
Yep, I agree. I feel the same way because half the time college is having you take these courses as filler, and then by the time you get to your actual like trade learning, and then like doctors, they even have to go on to like do what is it called, the residence?
Yeah.
Yeah, their
Yep.
residency.
Yep.
What's
So
that?
that's
They
where they
like gotta
learn
like work
most.
in the hospital for free or something?
Huh?
Do they have to like intern at a hospital?
Yeah, I think they get paid.
Oh.
I think, but they still have to do that for so long, and it's usually at the hospital, and you have so many hours that you have to do, and that's where they learn a lot of what they learn. That a lot of learning that you do is on the job. Like when you're in that moment, you can read about something over and over again, but when you're in that experience, that's when it shows like how you're going to react to something.
Yeah.
So final word or message to the people. Speak to them directly.
That's a lot of pressure.
That's why we do it. No, just any final words, like any positivity, just anything. Like have a great day, whatever's in your heart.
Stay positive and keep on fighting with whatever you're dealing with.
Hell yeah.
That's it. Simple.
Yep. That's
Cute.
it.
Thank you.
It's the truth.
Take us
Thank
out.
you. Appreciate you coming on the show. I enjoyed this a lot because she brought a lot of real knowledge, positivity. You helped both of us out. You're going to help somebody out. So people, if you guys have questions, follow her. What's your Instagram?
It's Ranee Valdez, RANEE.
If she wants you to follow her, I don't know if she does, but I just put it out there.
Heck, that works.
Sonder
Lets me connect
experience.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Again, appreciate you for coming on the show. Number 59, Sonder experience for the journey. I'm the Lightmare, the infinite one. Hope you guys have a great time. Oh, like, comment, subscribe, do all that. How hard is it to fucking subscribe?
It's such a simple click for you.
All you gotta do is push a damn
us.
button. Like, you don't get charged for pushing subscribe. That's it. Let's go. Comment. We want to know what you guys think. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Let's go.
Later.